English traditions. British tea traditions. Probably you have already heard much about different traditions of England. One of them is a tea tradition, where a lot of legends, and the main thing is to open a history. Let us travel and know something interesting and new. Tea first arrived in Britain in the 1650s, when it was served as a novelty in London's coffee houses. Back then, tea was a rare drink and medicine too. The famous diarist Samuel Pepys wrote about his first tea experience in 1660. Others may have sipped tea in the United Kingdom, but Samuel Pepys was the first Brit to write about it. However, it may have been the wife of King Charles II, 2 years later, who we have to thank for popularizing tea in the United Kingdom. In 1662, the newly restored monarch married Catherine of Braganza, the daughter of Portugal King John IV. She became Queen of England, Scotland, and Ireland. People couldn't get enough tea first. In response to the new demand, the East India Company began to import tea to Britain, placing its first order in 1664. However, high taxes on black and green tea were too high. A cup of tea became an activity associated with luxury. English people respect their traditions very much. This tradition was introduced by Duchess Anna in 1840. She became hungry about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The Duchess asked that a tray of tea, bread and butter, and cake be brought to her room during the late afternoon. This became a habit of hers, and she began inviting friends to join her. During the 1880s, upper class and society women would change into long gowns, gloves and hats for the afternoon tea, which was usually served in the drawing room between 4 and 5 o'clock. It was a chance for ladies and gentlemen to exchange gossip, plan future, and be introduced to new friends. These teas were grand enough for a buffet table to be set up with refreshments. Cakes, thin bread and butter, fancy biscuits, ices, fruits and sandwiches comprised the food, while big silver urns dispensed tea, coffee, and other provisions. In 1908, the tea bag was invented, although it didn't take off straight away. Different companies began pushing tea bags, and they steadily grew in popularity. Nowadays, having a brew with a tea bag and adding milk is customary in almost every household in the United Kingdom. Drinking tea became an everyday part of people's lives. Over time, milk was added. This might have been to soften the harsh and bitter flavors, or perhaps had to do with reducing the temperature to avoid bone china tea cups, used commonly at the time from cracking. In the end, the common English people deprived tea of its elite status. But even today, when you come to London, you can visit a real aristocratic tea ceremony. Expensive hotels like Lanham, Ritz or Claridge's arrange for their guests a classic 5 o'clock tea. And the lady even insists that it was they who started this tradition. So, if you want to feel English, invite your friends for a cup of tea. Don't forget that English people drink tea with milk. Enjoy your afternoon tea and practice your English.